Good morning, traders, and welcome to the opening trade. I am Ava. Before we get started, don't forget to first read and understand our disclosures found by both link and text in the description of this video. All right, let's take a look at the current SIM account balance. Here we go, simulated the opening trade, cash value. This number will become this number, and this number will be after we pay our fee. It is most important that you understand what your fee schedule is, so make sure that you have that from your provider. An informed trader is a better trader, right? All right, so let's take a look at the backtest results from the previous 90 plus days. We will possibly see these systems trade later in this live stream. All right, so here is the back test results, and you see it's actually 90 plus. It's really like 3 years plus here. So here's our start and end date, our max drawdown, gross loss, gross profit, and total net profit. If you have the availability, um, you know, if you have the data, back testing can be a breeze. 2 minutes after the Dow, we could potentially see the Russell. Again, here is the start and end date, the max drawdown, the gross loss, gross profit, and total net profit. That's Russell 2000 futures. 2 minutes after that, we could potentially see both the NASDAQ and the ES fire off at the same time, as long as the trading parameters have been met. So here is NASDAQ start and end date, max drawdown, gross loss, gross profit, and the total net profit there. Let's take a look at the last automated trade that could potentially fire. It could fire potentially at the exact same time as the NASDAQ, as long as the trade indicators are met. Here we'll see the start and end date, the max drawdown, gross loss, gross profit, and total net profit there. So the first thing I like to do is to make sure that my charts are on a 3-minute candle, make sure I'm in the right account and on the right strategy. Then I would like to look and see what did the market do yesterday. So yesterday, this is crude oil we're looking at. Yesterday started here and went all the way to here. So if today is started right here, you can see crude oil has had been above and below and then back above the 200 period EMA. Here we have the Russell 2000 futures. Let's take a look at yesterday. Yesterday climbed real high, dipped real low, started making its way back up, broke over the 200 period EMA last night, then went up below it, then back above it. So that is Russell, and we see right now it's continuing to pull away from the 200 period EMA. Okay, so here we have the Dow. Yesterday started here and ended here. So that is quite a bit of range movement right there. All right, so here's the NASDAQ. Let's take a look at it. Yesterday started here, and it was a climber. Then it took a little break, then it went back to climbing. Now, today, it has already been below the 200 period EMA and has come back above it. So we'll see what goes on there. So here's S&P 500. Yesterday started around here, went all the way through to here. Okay, so let's take a look at the news. Let's take a look at the calendar actually. So we know since yesterday, natural gas storage came out. FOMC member Kashkari spoke last night. Treasury Sec Yellen spoke last night. And that this morning, we've seen that the core PCE price index month over month came out. Just a little bit of a change from the forecast. Personal income month over month came out just a little bit different than forecasted, and personal spending as well came out just a little bit different than forecasted. The next thing coming out is going to be at 9:45 Eastern Standard Time. The Chicago PMI report will be released at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The revised UOM consumer sentiment and the revised UOM inflation expectations report will be revised. At 3:05 Eastern Standard Time, FOMC member Williams speaks. At 5:45 Eastern Standard Time, FOMC member Cook speaks. And 10 p.m. tonight, FOMC Waller speaks. So, what do we have to look forward to April? Today's the last day of this month, and April will be coming up tomorrow. So, what do we have to look forward to in the 1st of April? So, on Monday, we'll be seeing the final manufacturing PMI, the ISF manufacturing PMI, and prices, construction spending month over month, the Ward's total vehicle sales. But Tuesday's the day we're really looking at for that job openings. And Wednesday, the ADP non-farm employment change and ISM services PMI. And next Friday, unemployment rate non-farm employment in average hourly earnings month over month. So we have less than a minute before we see the New York market open. So what is in the news? Simplicity Esports signs an agreement to convert promissory notes into 5% commission stock ownership and extension to exchange agreement with software company Diverted River Technology LLC. We have less than a minute before we see the New York market open. We would like to thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing. Our systems are automated and they run on the U.S. equity futures markets in free trials. Okay, our systems are automated and they are live when enabled by the user. They run in the U.S. equity futures markets. Free trials to the automated trading systems are on our website at theopeningtrades.com. Don't forget to read and understand all associated risks listed on the website and in this video description. The New York market has just opened. If the trade indicator is there, then we could potentially take a manual trade in crude oil. Our first automated trade will fire off in less than 5 minutes on the Dow Jones Futures. Rogers provides update to 2023 financial guidance to give effect to its acquisition of Shaw Communications. And Rogers and Shaw to proceed with transformative merger. Glatfelter enters into Second Amendment to Fourth Amendment restated credit agreement. Anovis Bio receives interim analysis for a sample size re-estimation for its phase 3 clinical trial. Roger Shaw and Quebecor to close pro-competitive transactions. 1847 Holdings 2023 lifts guidance now projects revenue over 90 million. Gold edges down as the Fed's preferred inflation measure rose less than expected last month. IQIYI announces results of repurchase right after offer for its 2% convertible senior notes that are due 2025. Better Choice new product line, Halo Elevate, achieves strong sales growth in pet specialty channels. Well, I don't know about anywhere else in the world, but in America, they love to spend money on the pets. The pets get the good life. Let's see. Civic Health Report 2022 net loss of 10 million. Whew, that's rough. Wendy's, the fast food chain, will open fewer new stores in 2023 after dumping ghost kitchens. I don't know what a ghost kitchen is. So that sounds almost like a reality show. Like what was happening in these ghost kitchens, you know? Are they preparing the food there and bringing it to a Wendy's? Is it a restaurant? So many questions. So many questions. Okay, so the first candle has closed since the New York market has opened and crude oil is not showing anything worth taking a manual trade on. The thing we want to do is let the market get as far away from the 200 period EMA as possible. So let's take a look what's happening in the other markets here. We got Russell, Dow, NASDAQ, S&P 500, S&P 500, and here's the Dow. So in less than 2 minutes, we could potentially see an automated trade take place on the Dow Jones Futures. All right, Torrento Realty acquires property in Newark, California for 186 million. Blackstone's Corebridge investment has lost half of its value. Why the PE firm isn't worried? Maybe because they have a lot in reserves. Who knows? All right, ConnectWise releases 2023 MSP threat report with insights into top ransomware variants and cybersecurity predictions. Crown Electrokinetics reports a 2022 loss per share of 82 cents. Prairie announces a closing of a 5 million second lien financing. March gold coin sales are the highest since 1999. That seems very crazy.
Order submitted.
Okay, so there we go. The automated system for the Dow has fired off. The parameters were met. In less than 2 minutes, we could potentially see another automated trade take place on the Russell. Okay, so we're still in this automated trade. We have less than a minute before we could potentially see another automated trade fire off. The next automated trade that potentially could fire off would be here on this chart on the Russell. So we'll just put it on that chart. See if it meets the automated trade indicators to fire off.
Order submitted.
And there it goes. It's fired off in an automated trade on the Russell. So we're in an automated trade on the Dow and the Russell. In less than 2 minutes, we could see two more automated trades fire off as long as the automated trade indicators are met. The great thing about our automated trading software is that it's 100% user friendly. So if you want to fine tune it or tweak it or change a parameter however you see fit, you are able to do so. There's literally endless combinations. So however you see fit, whatever works for you, that's what you should be doing. All right, energy stocks gain pre-bell today. Digital Media Solutions reports Q4 loss per share of 38 cents. Okay, so let's take a look at the crude oil. What's happening here? Crude oil, there's still no viable manual trade for me to take at this time, which is fine. We are in an automated trade on the Russell and the Dow. And in less than a minute, we could potentially see the NASDAQ and the S&P fire off as long as their automated trade indicators have been met. So let's take a look at the news here. The consolidation of Wendy's franchise system has slowed. Let's see. Arena Group to sell 2.9 million shares at offering price of $3.88 a share. General Motors into Fourth Amendment restated
Order submitted.
a 5-year revolving credit agreement. Okay, so the automated trade fired off on the S&P 500. The NASDAQ today did not see an automated trade. Instead, the trade indicators were not met. That's fine. We're in 3 automated trades. Here is our first one. It's on the Dow Jones Futures, of course. Here is our Russell. And here is the S&P 500. So this is the Dow Jones Futures. This is the Russell 2000 Futures. Crude oil is still making its pull up above and away from the 200 period EMA. So at this time, there is not a manual trade that makes me feel comfortable to take. So you must do what you're comfortable with, because only you have to live with the choices that you make, right? So make sure you're comfortable in your choice making. Do what feels comfortable to you. Ocean Pal Incorporated announces the filing of its annual report on Form 20F. Zebra Tech CEO Anders Gustafsson 2022 total compensation was 14.7 million. Guess that guy had a good year, huh? All right, Assure Holdings sets fourth quarter and year-end 2022 conference call for Monday, April 3rd, 2023 at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Okay, so what are we doing? Let's look at our automated trade. Here we are. Here's our other automated trade and our third automated trade that is firing off. So we see three automated trades did fire off and they're doing their thing. And crude oil still not seeing a manual trade worth me taking at this time. So our Marin Corp CEO Cameron Kamar Karin McCall. Okay, I'm butchering this person's name. So Corinne McCall is to resign effective immediately. Uh-oh. Sounds like somebody got in trouble. Alright, so here we are still in our automated trade on the Dow, the Russell, and the S&P 500. Ford Motor CFO John Lauer's 2022 total compensation was $9 million. Stocks proved resilient in the first quarter despite inflation threat and base prices. AeroCap signs lease agreements with PT Rusty Aero Indonesia for two 737-800 BCS. We're talking about airplanes. People were talking about the airplanes. I always wonder when these people are getting these airplanes. Are they new? Are they used? What state is the airplane in? I don't know why my brain always thinks that every time though. All right, Brazil's oil exports hit monthly record in March despite the export tax. That's not surprising considering that no matter what, people are going to buy it if they need it, right? Right. So if you're cold, you're gonna buy the oil to keep you warm, right? All right. So Brazil meal payments
Order filled.
overhauled, delayed by central bank standoff. Okay, so order filled means that somebody got stopped out, and I'm going to think it was, of course, the Russell. Unfortunately, the Russell got stopped out. It did not see a win today. It lost 255. We're still into automated trades on the YM, which is Dow Jones Futures, and the S&P 500 Futures. Crude oil is still not looking good for a manual trade. The Russell just, bellied on me. So let's take a look. Strong order flow at Howmet Aerospace rebuffs supply chain concerns. Checkpoint Therapeutics is to raise $6.1 million via registered direct offering. CSX rises as domestic economy outperforms. Norfolk Southern facing Department of Justice lawsuit over alleged Clean Water Act violations in the East Palestine derailment. If you look into how many trains have derailed just this year alone, you would probably be like, what? Because that's how I felt. All right. So Phillips 66, the gas station, reports excessive emissions at Roger Refinery in Broger Refinery in Texas. That's not good. Why don't they do something about that? Right? We don't need just spewing the emissions into the atmosphere. Okay, so we're still into automated trades right here. This is on the Dow Jones Futures, and here is on the S&P 500. NRL recognized with FLC Innovation Award in Technology Transfer. Ford comments on newly released guidance on Inflation Reduction Act implementation. And the Rogers-Shaw combination is to proceed after Ottawa okay for Freedom Mobile deal. Zach Deming joins Diversified Search Group corporate practice. And EU week 6 lower ahead of the USDA report. Okay, so speaking of reports, one should have came out since we were on here. So what came out? The Chicago PMI came out at 9:45 Eastern Standard Time, which was 2 minutes ago, and it was about 0.7 better than forecasted. So that's always good, right? Yeah. So here we're in the ES, it's still in an automated trade, and here we're on the Dow Jones Futures, again still in the automated trade, and the crude oil is still pulling up and above and away from the 200 period EMA, which means at this time it is not a viable time for me to take a manual trade in the crude oil. As always, make sure that you read, understand all of our disclosures found by both text and link in the video description and on our website at theopeningtrade.com. The best thing you can do as a trader is be an informed trader. So that means you need to constantly be keeping yourself informed. Making sure that you have great resources of good information is a good way to stay informed. What is our automated trade doing here? Here is the Dow Jones. Here's the S&P 500. Okay, so let's see. Good morning. Thank you all for watching, liking, and subscribing. We greatly appreciate it. We have free trials to our automated trading systems on our website at theopeningtrade.com. Brazil oil exports hit monthly record. All right, yep. Quadem Solutions Incorporated launches Stay-Put Insurance Incorporated to offer innovative insurance products to encourage workers to save for retirement. About time, right? National Bank says Oceana Gold mineral reserve / resource update provides slightly positive. Proved slightly positive. All right, T-Scan Therapeutics CEO David Southwell steps down and Gavin McBeth named acting CEO. What's the thing we know? The thing we know is that a lot of companies, after the first quarter reports, do some, maybe in-house cleanup or restructuring. When numbers come out, things are likely to be changed. Stocks open higher in last session of the turbulent quarter. And the Canadian dollar heads for a monthly gain as the economy grows. Get around gets NYSE compliance notice after market capitalization shrinks. Toronto Stock Exchange rose at the open. And the Rogers of the Rogers Shaw merger expect 2023 revenue up 26 to 30%. That's not surprising, right? I mean, they're merging, right? So you should expect to see something, right? Harbor Custom Development Incorporated reports quarter, fourth quarter and full year 2022 results. And the Kurtzfeld Caribbean Basin Fund Incorporated pays a quarterly distribution. Quebecor, Rogers Communications, and Shaw Communication is the closed transaction. That's what we've been talking about. That's the Rogers Shaw transformative merger, and the shares rise on the deal approval, which is not surprising. Usually people are excited when they get approved. All right, so we're still in our two automated trades over here. They're slowly just picking up their pace. AI experts disown Musk-backed campaigns citing their research. Um, that's just kind of funny. All right, Treasury yields drop as inflation moderates. And the Rogers Shaw Quebecor is to close the transactions by April 7th. So that gives them a whole week, right? And Trump linked stock gain on attracting retail traders' attention. The U.S. stocks climb after inflation reports as Nasdaq heads for the best quarter in 2 years. Bond, bond rally could prove short-lived. Strand and Company names David Bauer Chief Financial Officer. Anthonor Capital LP reports a 25.14% stake in Durabio Ltd. as of March 20th SEC filing. Shares and bonds ride higher after a soothing inflation data. SIGIN Therapeutics announces a filing of 2022 annual report on the SEC Form 10-K. And again, Rogers and Shaw merger is everywhere in the news, and their shares rise on the deal's approval, which we know. Cerex CEO 2022 total compensation of $9.8 million versus $9.5 million the year before. So, will that guy pull in a extra $0.3 million? The Medical Innovations Holdings announces the pricing of a public offering. And Verizon Public Sector wins Federal Aviation Administration Enterprise Network Services contract, the FEN contract. Lose the momentum, and we know that
Order filled.
the revised UOM consumer sentiment reports and expectations come out in 3 minutes, and that could make the market go funny real quick. So I'm just gonna pull out here real quick
Order
out of
filled.
my automated trades. Take what I can before any news comes out that could disrupt what I'm currently in. Now, again, it is utmost important that you do what you feel comfortable doing. So, after we had one loser, two winners, let's take a look here. And like I said, I'm glad I got out of the ES right there. It's already losing its support 2 minutes before the revised UOM consumer sentiment comes out and revised UOM inflation expectations. I don't know what the market will do with those reports, but I do know that I started to lose my the fire in the ES, and it was time to go. And I'm glad I did go when I went. So we see here after our losses and our wins, we're down 47.50 instead of the 200 and something. You gotta pay your fees, so obtain your fee schedule from your provider. Okay, so real quick, let's just look. Again, very glad that we caught notice of what time it was and that the report was coming out so I could pull my automated trades. Again, you need to do what is comfortable to you. I don't like to be in an automated trade when something like the revised UOM consumer sentiment report comes out because the market could just go a little crazy a little too fast, you know? So best to do what you feel comfortable with. All right, we would like to thank you for watching, liking, subscribing. We greatly appreciate it. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful day. We'll be back on Monday to see how the markets did. All right, have a great day.